Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today we have a Bulldog game that was sent in by Hex Cosmic, and the reason I'm showing you this game is because he wouldn't stop whinging and moaning at me until I did. So I thought, for my own sanity, I'll just show it because that gets him off my back and, you know, just keeps the wee man happy, you know, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, here we are. We're on Swamp, and, and Hex finds himself in the northwestern spawn, and he is making a push down the 2 line in his Bulldog, which, for all intents and purposes, is probably the best light tank in Era 1. I prefer the FV series of light tanks in Era 1, but even I will admit that the Bulldog is a beast. It just is. It's got speed. It doesn't have as good concealment as the FVs, but it is a solid light tank, and it is the heaviest of all the light tanks, I believe. So it's very good at ramming things. So here we are. That's his third shot damage. That's his third damage shot of the game. And he's being brave, I would say, and based on the minimap and the size of his detection circle, I would say he is not running he's not running a concealment setup here, because that concealment circle is enormous. You can get it a lot smaller than that on the Bulldog, but Hex has decided that he doesn't want the concealment setup, so fair enough. Let's see what he can do with it. He's not pushing too aggressively. He does have team support here that is distracted. Well, the enemy is distracted. That E3 certainly is distracted. And he's pulling off... There we go. Yeah, that's what you want. You want the enemy tanks to be distracted. They don't want the gun pointing at you. Because if they're not pointing at you, they're not going to shoot you. And not getting shot is a good thing, as I understand it. Enemy Bulldog here is caught napping somewhat. He doesn't... Interesting play there, and I can see why Hex is a better player than me. He makes more sensible plays, and this enemy Bulldog, this isn't a sensible play from the enemy Bulldog. He's a one-shot. He didn't have to chase that. He could have stayed alive in the game if he'd just fallen back a little bit, regrouped with his team, but hey, that's not what happened, and Hex took him out. The second enemy Bulldog here is falling back, and Hex is following. And Hex is pushing... if you look at the minimap here, Hex is pushing up with the team. So as Hex moves further along, the team is just behind him. So he's paying attention to the minimap, and he's got target prioritization down to a T here. This is brilliant play. The Object 165 is the slower and easier target, so he's manually aiming and leading the shot, which is... it's a lot to pay attention to. Driving, aiming, getting it all done right. It does take a level of skill that I can sometimes pull off, but not all the time. But his team is down 7-11, so this is, at this point, is not looking like a win at all. Pulls off a neat little handbrake turn there. The 4005 gets the kill on the Bulldog, which is nice. That saves Hex the trouble of having to deal with that himself. And... ooh. The 165 from earlier is fallen back. Hex's team is grouped together in the south here, but they're not... that medium off to his left isn't really... well, is a distraction, I suppose. The 40T there is engaging the friendly medium. And here we have... oh dear. A Centurion 2 out in the open. This is what everybody wants. Avoiding the rock. Nicely done. Yeah, prioritizing the right target here. And what I noticed there was, even before the Centurion 2 was dead, Hex had already switched to the next target. He already knew where he was going next. which tells me he's not just active in the fight. He's not just active in the current fight. He's thinking ahead to what am I going to do next? Where am I going next? What am I aiming at next? What's the next priority? And that is what separates the... I'd say that's what separates the Unicum players from the rest of us. And that is that's something we can all pick up on. We can all learn from this. What do we got here? We've got another E3, who again is distracted exactly how you want your E3s to be. Enemy E3s anyway. Ooh, he's taking a gamble here. Getting in close. Okay. Friendly E3 takes out the enemy E3. It has gone from 7 to 11, well, 7 versus 11 to 3 versus 2. His team has pulled this back, and... Ooh, I believe that FV is just fired, so that's 20 seconds. It's 20 seconds to take advantage of the reload. No ammunition loaded. Taking his time here to shoot the side of the 103, which bounces. Kill shot on the 4005. Very nice. He's on his 5th kill here. Playing very well. Nice bit of communication there with his remaining medium. Not both going around the corner at the same time. Split up. Catch the enemy M103 in a crossfire. And again, you don't want the enemy tank pointing at you. But initially I thought the M103 there was actually looking at the medium, but he wasn't. He switched to look at Hex here. But one more shot. Final tank. There we go. 6 kills in the Bulldog. MVP, 7,228 damage. And he takes the top spot. That is a fantastic game. And that is just over 9,000 combined in Era 1. That is a solid result. That's good gun work in the Bulldog. So very well played, Hex. Fantastic game, fantastic result. And that is about all I have for this one, guys. So if you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If not, a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one.